week of the NSL regular season kicks off on the East Coast. The Halifax Tides host Ottawa Rapid FC, with the visitors vying to move up the standings. Welcome to NSL Soccer, presented by BMO, the official bank of the Northern Super League. I'm Daniela Ponticelli alongside former Canadian Youth International Jessica Lisi. Now, Jess, Ottawa needs points if they want to rise up the ranks, but first they need to score. We're talking about no goals in their last two matches, and the NSL's Golden Boot leader, DB Pridham, hopes to change that tonight.
Well, we know Pridham has that ability to change games, Daniela. We've seen it, but only one of her 18 have come against Halifax. That physicality has really thrown her off her game every time these teams have met. So today it's going to be key for her to not only impose herself and maybe score a goal, but also that movement off the ball. She drives a lot of attention, and that means that players around her are open.
Ottawa still looking for a win in Halifax. Here's their starting 11. A couple changes from last week. Number 14, Mina Lee returns, along with number 98, Stella Downing. Julia Benatti and Florence Belzile are on the bench tonight. It's also the 23rd start for number 18, Liv Scott, who joined us before tonight's match. Liv, you are key to Ottawa's defense, but the team needs goals tonight to win. All three of your goals this season have been scored against Halifax. So how are you approaching tonight's match?
Yeah, I think it's just a funny thing that's been happening throughout the year, but approaching tonight, my mind is strictly on defense. Trust in our offensive players, so I'm hoping to put in a strong defensive performance.
Well, of course, your regular season comes to a close tonight. After all this time together and, of course, looking ahead to the postseason, what do you believe sets the Rapid apart from the rest of the league?
I think it's our team culture. I'm not sure what's going on with other teams, but I don't think I've ever been a part of a team that's so close. So we really do play for each other and go out there and play like that every time. Thank
you so much, Liv. Good luck today.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
On the other side, Halifax is on a scoring roll. Goals in 4 straight matches, with Sid Kennedy opening her NSL account Saturday in Calgary.
I mean, it's about time that we saw Sid Kennedy's hard work pay off. She's been such a consistent impact for the Tides. Her work ethic, her ability to go 1v1, she wears her heart on her sleeve and always gives 100%. And her quality has continued to blossom all season long, Danielle, and it's been really fun to watch.
No surprise, Kennedy is in the final starting 11 for the Halifax Tides this season. Several changes, though, from the weekend. Karima Lemire, Amanda Allen, Addie Wickers, and Megumi Nakamura are in. Sarah Olai is unavailable due to card accumulation. And it is start number 13 for Gunny Jonsdottir, who has a game winner to her credit. She spoke with us earlier, pitch side. Gunny, your NSL season comes to an end tonight, but you get to do so in front of a home crowd that has supported the Tides through and through. What's on your mind heading into this match?
Just to go out there and enjoy it. We have the best fans in the league, and you want to go out there and play for them. The results haven't gone our way this season, but the fans have showed up every single time, and today we're going to show up for them.
Absolutely, the competitor that you are, you're always battling for a win. So how much does it mean to this group to leave it all out there today and finish this journey on a high note?
Yeah, I think that's important. You want to end a season on giving everything you got. And as I said, the results maybe haven't gone our way, but I know that today everyone's going to step on this field and give everything we have for the fans and for this club and this league.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Gunny. All the best today. Here are the standings as we enter week 27 of the NSL. All 6 teams will play their final matches. Ottawa tied with Montreal in points, but the Roses actually have the tiebreak here. So 3 points will be the Rapids' best hope of maintaining, possibly improving, that final standing. Their fate is intertwined, though, with the outcomes of the final 2 matches this week. Well, everyone is locked in. The fans are ready. The Halifax Tides vying for a victorious send-off to their season. Ottawa looks to stop a losing skid before heading into playoffs. We've got kickoff next at the Wanderers grounds. Welcome back to Halifax, where it's Fan Appreciation Night. You're watching NSL Soccer presented by BMO, the official bank of the Northern Super League. Thrilled to be with you this evening. I'm Daniela Ponticelli. Also thrilled to be alongside former Canadian Youth International Jess Lisi. Beautiful evening, of course. Bittersweet for the Tides, knowing that this is their final match of the season of 2025. While Ottawa, they look ahead to the postseason. Sid Kennedy, of course, coming off a really great match on Saturday. A loss for the Tides, but able to score her first of the season. You can see DB Pridham, center there for Ottawa, and she has been center stage of this league. Far and away the Golden Boots leader. She could add to a tally of 18 goals, and just 18 goals for Pridham. That's 2 more than Halifax combined on the season.
That is a pretty crazy fact, Daniela, and stat. And we know that Pridham is somebody that is so capable of changing games. We've seen her do it for her team time and time again, but that's something that her opponents are aware of. They know the threat that she is. They do everything to throw her off her game. So her today, it's about staying in the game, locked in mentally, not allowing anyone to really throw her off her game and make that impact, whether that is her off-the-ball movement, whether that is her really, being able to score that goal to put them ahead.
Taking a look at Ottawa's head coach, Katrina Peterson, who came in saying they wish that this game didn't matter, that they didn't need a win to move up, but it does keep them hungry, it keeps them ready, and you cannot take the Halifax Tides lightly. In fact, Ottawa has yet to win at the Wanderers' grounds. And there's a look at Stephen Hart, who came in as interim head coach just before the mid-season point, had a good start. The team collecting 2 wins back-to-back, but then they have not been able to win since. There's been draws, points earned, but this is really a chance for the Tides to say thank you to the club, to finish with pride, as you know that they are going to do, all these competitors out here tonight. Karima Lemire looking on. A beautiful evening in Halifax, partly cloudy, 15 degrees. Under the bright lights as it is, fans filtering in.
It's like they're swapping sides there, Daniela. But you mentioned the Halifax Tides, and this is a team that constantly has been forced into that underdog mentality, and that is a difficult team to play against. They come out hungry, they come out front-footed, and they're there to play spoiler today. So this is going to be an interesting one.
The Tides with the first touches of the match, and for this final match of 2025, the home team wearing their granite purple and ocean cyan kits. They'll be playing from right to left on your screen to start. Our first look as well at the Ottawa goalkeeper, Melissa Dagenet, who has been so key to the Rapids' success this season. She has now officially had all 5 starts against Halifax.
There's also a lot of kudos to be given to her. That's somebody that came in later in the season. Molly Erickson obviously stepping out with injury and currently in recovery, but Dagenet stepped in and she made that role her own. She's done great things for this Ottawa side so far. So excited to see what she puts out there today.
7 clean sheets on the season, 6 of those wins, 1 was a draw. As Ottawa gets to work. To defend here, Halifax moving the ball. Nakamura puts it up ahead for Gunny Jonsdottir. She goes across, that could have connected, it is wide. Amanda Allen driving towards the net.
That was some great movement from Gunny Jonsdottir, as well as just movement from everyone off the ball. You were seeing that fluidity in the attack. They're able to break that line, and that's a great delivery as well. Amanda Allen not quite able to get there, but you'll see it here again. Nice delivery back post. Amanda Allen just slightly late to be able to get there.
Jonsdottir, the captain for the Tides. A title shared as well by Sarola Miller, who is on the bench tonight. Of course, Jan's daughter spent some time this season with the Icelandic national team, working behind the scenes, actually spent some considerable time. As mentioned, this is her 13th start. Could it be a lucky one for Jan's daughter, who also has the wonderful title of scoring Halifax's first ever game winner?
She plays a very big leadership role for this team and keeps them connected between their lines. And that organization is something that they've gotten so much better with through the second half of the season. And she's a big part of that, keeping everyone connected. And when she was not available to be playing, whether that was through injury or she was away, as you said, with the Icelandic national team, you did see her presence missed.
An absolute leader, and now trying to set up Nakamura, but is out at the end line. Nakamura, of course, such an integral part of this Tides team. 4 goals on the season. She's tied with Miller for the team's goals leader. Dajane, patient, finds Desi Scott. There's already Scott, of course, honored last week in the final home match for the Rapid. She says goodbye to a professional career. Stepping away from the game, but likely not far from it. Now Gibson trying to get a touch in.
Seeing Halifax really apply that press and not giving Ottawa the time and the space to really build out of the back, something that they've shown to be very great at this season. That confidence and that composure amongst their back line to then build and find their midfielders and then go forward from there. They're not giving them the time and the ability to do that so far in the beginning of this game.
DB Pridham getting her head on it. Another look at Stephen Hart. Someone who takes a lot of accountability, speaking to Jess and I before the match, saying, you know, his job was to help lift this team out of the bottom of the standings. He was unable to do that, but of course there have been spots along the way, development in this team. Good clear out of the box, but now moving it back into the midfield. Sid Kennedy. Julianne Vallerand, who has yet to taste victory among several players on the Tides that came in past the midway point of the season, has contributed quickly in her time. Kennedy, Downing trying to stay with her. Adamick on top of it. Quick pass. Gets it back to Pridham, who dances well along the touchline. Gibson to Scott once more. Katrina Peterson, of course, knowing that her team will have more to play for after tonight. They'll be headed into the postseason. Right now truly sitting in at the 4th spot, given that they are tied with Montreal and the Roses have the tie break. So if the standings were to stay as they were, it is the 4th seed playing the #1 AFC Toronto. But Ottawa still has a chance as well to take hold of a home playoff spot. That's how much is in limbo in this final week.
Some good composure there from Ottawa to be able to find Chu out wide. And Daniela, last matchup was not one of their finest. This is a team that typically is very organized defensively. Offensively, they have a lot of fluency and fluidity in their movements, but those were lacking last matchup on both sides of the ball. They lacked that cohesion that we're typically used to seeing from them. They were stretched defensively. They were really pulled out of shape and chasing in their own half, which again is something that's very out of character for them. Offensively, you saw Pridham making those lone runs with direct play, and that worked at times, but there was a lot of play that wasn't coming together. The decisions in the final third, they looked exposed and vulnerable, and again, these are all things that we're not typically used to seeing from them. So they just just have to clean it up and tighten it up today.
It was a 2-0 loss to Vancouver. Of course, the Rise able to grab hold of second place with that win. And it is a first, by the way, throughout this incredible season. A first for Ottawa to go back-to-back without scoring at least a goal. They have had stretches where they've had a bit of a skid, but never more than 3 straight matches. Adamek out to Lee. From distance, it's just wide on the near side.
Mina Lee's another player that I'd love to really spotlight. She wasn't playing in that last matchup, and that glue between the front line and the midfield line, as well as being attached to that back line, was sort of off. She's typically that final piece to the puzzle. Her movement off the ball, she floats really well into those spaces, keeping everyone connected, and that was lacking a little bit for them last matchup and when she isn't typically on the field. So it's great to see her back out there. She definitely helps them out.
Gibson to Lee. Lee once more. Plays it out, drops it off for Pridham. Pridham speeds ahead, tries to find a way in. A set piece. Ends up in the midfield. Rapid looking to get to work. Adamek hoping to grab it back along the touchline. A quick throw in for the Tides, and Sid Kennedy on the move. She has Allen up ahead. Gets the through. Allen draws some Ottawa players her way. Downing.
It's well defended by Downing to get back and then do that defensive work.
Now Lemire opts for the other side this time. Kylie Norkus plays it back, and now from distance, headed out by Ottawa, Mina. Quick pass to Downing on the near side. Moving up the right flank, Downing finding the middle this time. Gibson's there. And here they come, the Rapid, looking for room. Quick touch. Keeps them to the outside of the box, and there's a first save by Annika Toth. Toth, of course, in the Golden Glove race coming into this match, just one save made behind Vancouver's Morgan McCaslin, so now they're tied. Vancouver still with a match to play. That'll be tomorrow in Calgary. In the 11th minute here, 0-0 in Halifax. And it's Rapid with the ball. Looking for Pridham. She's having some words.
It's really well done there by Friedland to get into that half space, receive that ball, and play a quick ball through to Pridham, who we know is always lingering and waiting for her chance to pounce, and that's exactly what she did there. I know she wanted that corner kick, but it did end up going against her in that exact moment. You'll see another look here, a nice little slip ball through, but Leslie was not allowing Pridham to get a look on goal.
Vallerand puts it up through the air. Now Kennedy. She's hoping to find Amanda Allen.
A little bit too much eagerness there from Allen. She isn't able to hold her run and does get caught offside. There has to be a bit of that recognition in your timing of when to go, and also realizing and recognizing where the defenders are so you're able to time your run a lot better.
Fans drumming at the Wanderers' grounds. We'll have a foul. Ellen Gibson taking down Gunny Jonsdottir. The visitors wearing their white away jerseys with light blue shorts. And our officials for tonight, referee Anne-Marie Canuel, her 12th match as a referee. She's also acted as the 4th official in 11 NSL matches. Valeron's pass just goes out to touch. Quick throw in by Adamick. Lee, they trade passes. Mina once more.
Nice
Puts
switch
it
ball
well
there.
across. Yeah.
It's a great switch ball there by Mina.
Just Downing on that side. Need to control this possession. Tiffany Cameron hoping to press, and Pridham takes the physicality, stays on her feet, puts the strike just wide. And that's what's to be expected from the Golden Boot leader in this league.
But I also just want to point out, Daniela, that direct play, that relationship that's formed and that partnership between Harris and Pridham has been something that's blossomed a lot this season, and it works out in their favor a lot of the time. But Pridham does so well here to continue to fight. She gets back on her feet, and she does try to strike this on frame. It just goes wide. But that tenacity in her game is what makes her so special.
Makes sense that they have that chemistry locked in. The only two Rapid players with all now 25 starts on the regular season. Very familiar with one another. Got a chance to speak with Jaleesa Harris before, and her joy and her excitement as well to be part of this club. A club that by the stats seems to be second place, and that's where they've kind of waffled between second, third, fourth. Of course, no one catching up to AFC Toronto throughout this regular season. But a lot on the line, of course, heading into playoffs. Chu runs it into the middle. Adamick, patient, has Desi Scott. Gets around Gibson, through traffic, quick touch.
Some good footwork there from Desi Scott.
Yeah, Annika Leslie able to thwart that, but now the Tides can't get by Dagenet, although dangerous look there, it seemed.
It's the right idea there. She saw that Dagenet was out of her net, and Allen decided to try it from distance. She's just not able to get under it enough to really beat the tall structure that Dagenet is.
And Halifax strength is not from outside the box. Just 2 goals this season scored outside the box, 14 inside. Speaks as well to Dagenet's ability as goalkeeper as well. Save percentage for Ottawa this season, 74.5%. They're the second best in the NSL. If you're just joining us, you're watching the NSL on TSN, presented by BMO, the official bank of the Northern Super League. Still looking for an opening goal, but there have been shots on target from either side. Although Toth, less tested.
You're seeing here, Daniela, this ball movement is not something that we were seeing from the Halifax Tides earlier in the season. We're seeing their confidence grow, their cohesion, and the fact that they're all on the same page of what needs to happen. And it's been really fun to watch them grow. And you said, you know, Coach Hart has put a lot of that on himself and saying he was brought in to take them out of that last place spot, and he hadn't done that. But there's been a lot of growth since he has stepped into that managerial role, and it's definitely been an impactful role for him because of what he's been able to do for this team, despite not getting those results.
For him, hoping to play it ahead to Downing. And you know, Hart, it's going to sound cliche, but Hart has heart, and that is very evident. It's also what he expects out of his players. He wants that. He's always been very open about the fact that he wants them to have joy and be joyful while they're out there, and you have to hope that tonight on this final match of 2025 for the Tides, that is what comes through. We know they're all competitors. We know both sides want to win. We also know Ottawa has yet to be able to claim 3 points at the Wanderers' grounds, so anything can happen in the Northern Super League. Julianne Valeron with a quick throw-in.
Sorry, Janella, not to cut you off there, and that's something that Coach Peterson mentioned to us, right? The grass, the surface, it's something that they are trying to prove to themselves that they can play through because they haven't had those results that they wanted playing at Wanderers' ground. So that's something that they're working on as well, and getting used to that surface and adapting to what is being given to them.
An important adaptation too when you think BMO Field, where the championship will be held, is also a grass field. And if you're not used to that, it can change dynamics a little bit. Karima Lemire through to Cameron. Has Kennedy along the edge of the box, but inside, it's cleared out. Valeron making her debut August 2nd against Montreal. Has been a very active part of this Tide squad ever since. Gets past Mina. Hoping to find some support inside. Now Norcus. Again, lofty pass up that time, handled well by Dagenet. Dagenet's 17th start of the season. Tides just looking to move this ball through distance here. Valeron. Goes out along the sideline. Pridham getting held up there. Downing as well.
Halifax continuing to bring that front-footed approach to their defensive game and really doing well to disrupt any sort of buildup that Ottawa's been able to have, and you're seeing them clear it, and Halifax is winning that second ball, that first and second ball each time.
Leslie able to get the pass to the other side. Tides on the move once more. Nakamura finding her way in Jonsdottir as well. And they get the curve they need. Jonsdottir, the leg on it. Now Kennedy. Mina for Ottawa. White jerseys grouping. Tides remain on the attack. But a great start for Halifax when it comes to control and possession. They've had more looks. Melissa Dagenet has made a couple saves so far early on in this match. Valeron has Nakamura. It's a quick takeaway by Adamek. Halifax again with some great ball movement, quick passes. Connecting now as well.
Again, you're seeing there that front-footedness. They get that ball back when they aren't able.
Kennedy with a cross. Looking for Cameron. Was hoping for a header. Kennedy doing all she can as well to position herself.
Just to continue that thought, when they're not able to, create anything too dangerous on that first attempt, they're there and they're ready to try again. They're continuously finding Sid Kennedy on this left side or Amanda Allen on the other flank, attempting to get balls in the box. You see here Cameron fighting, this ball getting cleared out that last minute out of the danger zone.
See our first corner of the match. This set piece for the Tides. Inside the box, a heel touch. Pressure still on that one, skied over. Gunny Jonsdottir able to deliver that in, and just ineffective there.
Ottawa's clearances, again, not good enough. They end up feeding that ball right back to Halifax, where they're able to get another opportunity that obviously they haven't been able to capitalize as of yet, but Ottawa does need to be aware of how they're clearing these balls out and then being able to win that second ball when they do.
No success on the set piece, so they'll do it another way. Kennedy. Back to Wickers. Wickers, who did not start last match, but here today, of course, it was a quick turnaround for the Tides. They played in Calgary Saturday. It's not really a Thanksgiving Day long weekend for the team. Coach Hart saying, you know, yeah, we're on the road and getting set up for this final match as well. Valeron finds Cameron, now Nakamura. Tries to get the feed to Lemire, but it's taken away, and DB Pridham with the speed, just drawing all the Tides her way. She does have 2 assists against this team. Friedland unable to find some room. Now Ellen Gibson gets to the ball first.
Also seeing there the disconnect between the midfield right now and the forwards for Ottawa, where Pridham is having to drop so low to receive that ball and then has to cover a ton of ground, but it's very difficult to do that when you don't have the numbers around you. But Halifax does have the numerical advantage, and you saw slowly the white shirts creeping up, but Friedland opted to shoot and it didn't go anywhere because of the lack of support in and around. So it needs to be better as far as being cohesive and being connected in the attack for Ottawa. We've seen them defend a good portion of this first half so far.
Downing solid in that battle there, gets the throw in. Adamick keeps it away from Sid Kennedy. Downing now in a 1v2. Tide certainly on it, and Coach Hart saying that he does appreciate how this team's organization has built, which speaks to what we're seeing here in this final match for Halifax. No day but today. Ottawa, meanwhile, of course, trying to set that tone for what's next. Even though this is about the regular season, it's just as much about what's next.
Well, I was just going to say, Daniela, that he also mentioned, you know, despite not getting the results that they would have wanted in these last few matchups, they have shown that they can compete with those top 4 teams that made the playoffs, and that on its own is a small victory.
Johanna Freeland almost finding some room. Toth coming out. Never been afraid to get out of her comfort zone and play that position out. Rapid trying to clear quick. Karima Lemire. Out now to Norcus. Puts it up, has Cameron there. Quick pass out to Amanda Allen. 2 players from Mississauga, Ontario, joined at the same time. They signed during the international break in the midsummer. They'd like to celebrate their first NSL win. Jan's daughter looking to get a leg up, but Downing takes it away. Again, there's that pressure, Norcus.
See a bit of frustration there from Downing. A lot of effort on her end, an individual effort, driving forward, but she isn't able to get that ball to land in her favor. It does end up going out for a throw-in for the Tides.
Players wearing some long sleeves. It is 15 degrees, feels a degree or 2 cooler, and that'll certainly cool off throughout the evening.
It was well done by Valeron as well to read that.
0-0 here in the first half in Halifax. Start of week 27, and all 3 games have meaning so far. Of course, things could be decided tomorrow based on certain outcomes today, and what we mean by decided is the order of those first 4 teams. It's also very likely, though, that Sunday's final regular season match will have meaning. Looking for the cross, Downing! It's wide. What an effort there. The net was open.
One thing, Daniela, that Ottawa does really well is being able to manipulate their opponent, and that's lacked for them a little bit in the last few games. But Chu does really well to get into the space that Friedland came out of, and she gets that ball through, but Downing is not able to connect with that, and she's right in front of the net. It does have to be better from there from her.
Downing with 3 goals, 1 assist on the season, and one of those goals coming against Halifax, but that was that 5-0 win on August 28th at TD Place in Ottawa. She was able to score coming off the bench. That game got out of hand quick. DB Pridham, that's when she was able to get her first and so far lone goal against the Tides. It's really impressive considering that she's put together 18 goals and counting on the season. Gibson in the midfield. Now Desi Scott keeps it out of the way for Sid Kennedy. Downing up ahead, she's hungry. Potentially looking for redemption, a header by Mina. Gibson once more. A pass taken away. Cameron, the valiant effort there in the midfield. A foul called. Chu going down. Desi Scott to Mina, now DB Pridham. Immediately swarmed. Adamick is looking to find that space in the penalty area once more, and knocking on the door is Friedland, Jess.
Yeah, and we've seen Friedland be quite active so far in this first half in getting into spaces and receiving the ball, playing those slip balls through. But this all starts again by Mina coming into that space, finding Pridham's feet, Pridham's recognition to play out wide where the space is, and Friedland not quite able to connect to keep it on frame there. But Pridham and Mina continuing to really drive this Ottawa attack.
Johanna Friedland still looking to open her NSL account. She has 2 assists on the season. It's her 4th start against Halifax. She has played in all their meetings so far. On the record, it goes Ottawa's way, but the Rapids' 2 wins that they've been able to put together against this Tides team have all been in the nation's capital. They have a loss and a draw at the Wanderers' grounds. Mina has Downing. Patient. Gets around Valeron. Downing into the middle. Friedland scores! Johanna Friedland wanted it. She got it.
There it is. We just spoke about this, Daniela, how she was knocking on the door, and she's been making an impact so far within this first half. So it's great to see her finally connect with that. It is, again starts from Mina really dropping low, getting that ball, being involved, finding the pockets, and then spraying that ball out to Downing, who does so well to be patient as well as use a bit of her craftiness, take this nice first touch, beat Valeron and get this ball into the box, and then you see that great touch again, strikes that so well from Friedland to get it into the back of the net.
Opens up that NSL account, none other in her last regular season game. A great time to get hot too, as you do have playoffs on the horizon. The 29-year-old out of Norway He's been such an integral part of this Rapid team and puts Ottawa in the lead 1-0 in the first half.
And this is the opportunity for that momentum to really shift into Ottawa's favor. We've seen them try to create attacking opportunities. They weren't quite coming together for them with that final action, really letting them down. But we saw, Halifax coming out front-footed and really trying to make things happen for themselves in the attack. So this is where that shifts, right? This is where Ottawa needs to use that one-goal advantage and cause Halifax to really chase it and continue to try to build on it, score a second goal before half, really, put a final nail in the coffin.
That's also the Rapids' 40th goal on the season. They are now tied with AFC Toronto for the most in the league. It's also number 36 scored from inside the box. That is where they've been absolutely lethal. Finally snaps that skid too. Talked about their need to score. It's been 2 straight matches without a goal, which is unheard of for a team like the Rapid. And they'll get right back to it. Downing to thread the ball through. Has support, now Mina. Puts it up once more, goes over top of Prudhomme. Prudhomme, of course, looking for goal number 19, possibly number 20. It is within reach tonight. But no pressure, of course, because Friedland at least gives you a little bit of room to breathe and has the ball once more. Now Liv Scott, of course, chatted with her pre-match, talked about the fact that all 3 of her goals, by the way, only has 3 shots on target as well on the season. She makes them all count. They've all been scored against Halifax, number 18 for Ottawa, who has the ball once more. She's there to defend, but hey, when the moment strikes, why not?
Well, she can confidently say she has 100% accuracy.
That's really impressive. I love stats like that, right? Just you know when to take the shot. You know when to make the right move. And of course, one of those 3 goals scored by Liv Scott against Halifax was a game winner. The Tides, they were holding court in the early part of this match. Sid Kennedy, tough as nails. She's taken a lot of physicality this season, has battled through.
She's definitely been one of the most consistent players for them, if not the most consistent this season. She constantly gives 100%. You know what you're going to get from her, but her ability to go 1v1 and her quality of putting balls in the box, and she always is the player that you need to look for and you look forward to watching.
Of course, hails from Halifax. That means so much too, getting to play in your hometown. Chu to Gibson. In the Ottawa half, it's taken away. Great pass into the box. Desi Scott takes a slide. Means the Tide still have the ball. Kennedy just got to get around Adamick. Sends it back out to Jonsdottir. Valerand. The quick touch to Lemire. They exchange. Kennedy looking for another way in. Had Cameron in the box, now looking for that tying goal. Lemire to Cameron. Tiffany Cameron just can't get it by. Some solid defense by the Rapid in close quarters.
It's well read there by Norcus.
There's Jaleesa Harris just doing all the hard work inside the box for Ottawa.
You mentioned it, Daniela, they're not able to create a penetrating pass to beat this defense as of yet, but this is a team that needs to be better at clearing that ball out. They're dropping the ball right at the top of the 18. We're seeing the surface play a factor here. We saw a couple people slip, Desi Scott, and that ball stayed in play. You don't want that to be the reason that an equalizer is scored, so you have to be better and take care of the ball when you are on it.
Adamic having some words with referee Canuel.
You're going to see some great defense here too by Harris. Puts her body on the line, slides, and keeps Cameron from getting a strike on frame. It's very well done from her.
We have a set piece incoming here for the Tides. On the season, they've had, coming into this match rather, 18 shots from a set piece. Not necessarily as much success. Just one goal from a free kick as it is. Looking to tie the match here in the first half.
This is a dangerous opportunity for the Tides. Ottawa has to do well here in getting this ball out.
Gunny Jonsdottir puts it inside and it just goes over top of the net.
I'm not sure if she was attempting to strike that on frame. She does have the ability to do that. We saw she just overhit it and leaned back slightly where she wasn't able to connect with the back of the net, that top right corner. But in that situation, if you're not going to goal, you have to drop it right between, you know, that 6-yard box and the penalty spot to be able to allow your team to really drive that back post and create some commotion in front of the goal.
Nakamura trying to get by her. Pass deflected. Tides have been buzzing and busy as well.
Bit of a tongue twister.
Yeah, didn't mean for that. Of course, Nakamura has it's become such a fan favorite in Halifax for her incredible effort on the season. Look to number 24 to make something happen here. She has scored in both home matches prior to this one against Ottawa. And her most recent goal was in a 1-1 draw against the Rapid back on September 13th. Chu patient to Harris. Scott to Desi Scott. Cameron. Now Jonsdottir has it. Opts for the pass, Sid Kennedy. In heavy traffic. Adamic to Downing. Watch out, Valeron nearly able to get by Downing. With the pass to Mina. Just like that from one end to the other. Friedland with the goal already, just can't get ahead. In the 41st minute here of the first half, beginning to wind down. Ottawa in the lead, 1-0 over Halifax.
You mentioned, Daniela, that's from one end to the other, and one thing that the Ottawa Rapid are really trying to hone in on today as well is their ability to be great in transition, and that's something that Coach Pearson mentioned to us. She said, you know, we're also a great transition team, so we're going to take what is given to us, and you saw right there Stella Downing coming back, doing the work, spinning, and then really driving forward to try to create something for her team in the attack.
5 transition goals this season for Ottawa. None for Halifax, and that's part of the story, right? Your ability to score in different ways. Valeron with a throw in. But Ottawa getting to work. Out to touch. Katrina Peterson in full winter flair, if you will. Getting ready for that November soccer that's just ahead.
Not excited for the weather, but definitely excited for the soccer.
Of course, you see the players, they're sweating. It's still hot out on the pitch when you're at work. Different story along the sidelines.
Probably one of those players that would prefer to play in scorching heat than cold,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
You know, you get all of that in the NSL. We saw days where it was 35 degrees Celsius. Kickoff at just 15 in Halifax. Not a good sight there for Halifax fans, and we do have our first yellow card of the match. His daughter just taking a moment here to get up.
Yellow card issued to number 3, Kayla Adamek.
Kayla Adamek with that yellow card.
See right there, it looks like
Oh, that's
Gibson
Gibson,
is the one that
Ellen
went through,
Gibson.
but Adamek did kick that ball away in the end, which is what I believe the yellow card is for. But it was definitely initially Gibson that went through the back of Jan's daughter.
Yeah, that got the contact there. Could this be a chance for the Tides? They're in the penalty area. Can't find a way into that 6-yard area as well. They're Ottawa very effective keeping them at bay between the 6 and the 18. Now back into the Halifax half. Check that, on the move, headed the other way. The Tides rolling. Can't get the feed to Amanda Allen as Desi Scott, the destroyer, just cuts that path short.
The accuracy in that passing has to be better from Cameron. She does try to feed that ball into the open players, but she isn't able to hit that ball with enough power, not enough accuracy, and Scott is able to get in there and just disrupt that buildup.
Plenty of back and forth in the first half, but Ottawa with that 1-0 lead. As the time begins to wind down. Another set piece here for Halifax. Second corner as well. Gunny Jan's daughter this time. Goes off the head of the Ottawa Rapids, sent all the way back, but from distance it's high once more. There'll be a minimum of 1 minute of stoppage time here in the first half.
Lemire trying that from distance, just a little too far out. She does have that range. We've seen her hit the net from there, but she isn't able to quite get over that and put enough power through it for it to stay below that crossbar.
Dagenet kicks. Downing was there. Adamek's throw in nearly taken away. Great positioning along the touchline. Downing, though, runs it into the middle. Harris
Board officials indicated
Liv
there will
Scott.
be a minimum of 1 minute of added time.
The Scots exchange now. Desi gets to work.
It's really well done there by Scott to evade that pressure.
Downing has been so active on the ball as well in this match. She goes down.
We mentioned that Sid Kennedy is a player that always gives 100%, but Stella Downing is the exact same type of player. She's always bringing the intensity. She's almost like a little Energizer bunny. I don't know where
Took
she
the
gets all
words
that
out of my
energy from.
mouth. I was just about to say
She's
if there's-
always moving. If the ball doesn't fall her way, she is defensively doing the work that is necessary. She's always bringing the intensity, and she's been a player that has made an impact as well for the Ottawa side.
Yeah, whether she's starting or coming off the bench. Friedland gets it to a teammate now. Another goal! Ottawa capitalizes, extends the lead here in stoppage time at that.
looks like that might have went off of Jonsdottir's head, which is a little bit frustrating for the Tides, but Ottawa has been knocking. They've created opportunities. They get the ball into the box, and they're there to redirect it. You see here, there's commotion, Pridham getting up, and then you have Gibson putting that back into the mix. And unfortunately, it does go off of Jonsdottir's head for Halifax, but that is exactly what needs to happen. You create commotion, things can fall your way. So it's well done by Ottawa to not let that ball get cleared.
Goal for the Ottawa Rapid, scored by number 6.
And just like that, the first half lead doubled in the final seconds. Ottawa Rapid leading 2-0. They wanted a win coming into this, and now they're just 45 minutes away from it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that first half for the Ottawa Rapid was something that they need to work on. They need to clean it up a little bit, but they were still able to get 2 goals, Daniela, and that is what counts. Now they have the momentum heading into the second half.
Well, coming up, the NSL halftime show, and it'll start with a special spotlight on Ottawa's goalkeepers. Stay with us. The Rapid lead 2-0 over Halifax at the Wanderers grounds.
I think our mission for today should be to not see red.
I think that was offside, in my opinion. No? Not on you, on her.
Imagine not being a goalkeeper. We have the most fun. Look at them, they're still warming up. They're like running. Pass, shot, smother. Pass. Shoot! Lightning speed. Goalkeeper is the toughest position. All the field players that said goalkeeper gain my respect. Hey, stop the chit chat.
What's Sean's name?
It's still Sean. You just spell it different. S-E-A-N. Sean Paul. I get it. Trying to throw me under the bus for something I never had. Look at that tiki-taka.
Get there. Don't let her turn. Good job. Oh, that like broke my spine.
Come on, Liv. Force out, Liv. Force out.
Leave your phone at home. No, they'll bring phones, they'll bring jewelry, dye your hair probably, get a tan. What? We just play normally?
I should stand somewhere else.
We're not allowed to be friends today, sorry.
We'll be friends tomorrow. I don't know, because obviously my defender was blocking off this side, so I should have just went like, hey, Mistia.
When we're playing out of the back is,
Okay.
here's the box, okay? We're gonna
Okay.
have 2, a front 2.
Okay, I'm already confused. No, I'm kidding. Hungry?
Me too again.
It's
We
absurd.
need to fix our eating schedule.
I always have eggs, either toast or this week it's bagels.
I love it.
Yeah, coffee. I gotta stop standing next to JY. I gotta move. She's not uncensored or censored. What's the word? She's not censored.
Guys, we're not losing today.
Before I cry myself to...
No, no. Oh no, Kelly. Has to be better. Oh no. Mine. Yay!
That's so
My God.
stupid.
First time I win a game in like 3 weeks.
Classic.
Good job, Kelly. You did really well in there.
You too, TV.
I hate losing. You hear that, guys?
I
hate
love
losing.
winning. I love winning.
I hate when I lose to you also. I think I should be mic'd up every day.
I agree.
Because it keeps me accountable on being positive.
I caught myself singing at one point. I was like, oh.
Singing?
Yeah.
What you singing?
Pokey.
Pokey, pokey.
Welcome to the NSL Halftime Show presented by BMO, the official bank of the Northern Super League. Daniela Ponicelli with you alongside Jessica Lisi. Right now, Ottawa leads 2-0 over Halifax. The Tides celebrating fan appreciation. Certainly would like to get on the scoring side of things in the second half, but Jess, Ottawa, they came in with a mission. First of all, score some goals. They hadn't done that in back-to-back matches. Also, Jocelyn is doing her thing. Distracting me. But it all started here in the first half.
I spoke about it in the matchup, but Mina's ability to drop and find those spaces, she gets in there, she finds Downing, who does so well and is so patient to find Friedland, who takes a nice first touch and absolutely drills that home over top of Toth. But we saw Ottawa knocking on the door quite a few times. They weren't clean enough, but when it finally came together, they were able to score a beautiful goal at that. Again, there's another look at it, Friedland celebration, a nice team goal from them.
And then they just kept going despite some great possession from Halifax throughout that first half. It was in stoppage time, and that's got to sting a little extra, especially when it goes like this.
Yeah, this is a great delivery in. You see Pridham get up there to contest that ball, and Gibson not allowing that ball to be cleared, strikes it back into where the commotion is and actually goes off the Jonsdotter's head. An own goal for the Tides, a bit frustrating for them, but this is very well done by Ottawa to recognize that that ball cannot be cleared and to get it back into the danger zone.
Yeah, that's right. Jonsdotter does get a touch on it, so it's recorded right now as an opponent's own goal, but that's all good news for Ottawa and Rapid fans. Here's a look. Shots on target, one each, then total shots going Ottawa's way as to be expected. Just given the action that we saw heading in that direction, despite the fact that the Tides, the team that has had some of the better chances and better looks when it comes to set pieces. Yellow card as well of note, Kayla Adamick, the lone player booked so far in this match. Of course, fans still taking in the atmosphere at the Wanderers grounds the last time. Jocelyn, I'm just so impressed. Can dance, can swim, can do it all, apparently.
Look at that strut.
I know. I mean, Jocelyn also got to celebrate her birthday at the Wanderers grounds earlier this season. When we return, we'll have some more on some unexpected standouts.
Just a concept or idea on a napkin, but 2 years ago it didn't even have teams.
Looking for the strike. Oh!
Now that's a finish. Northern Super League. It will transcend the sport, the Northern Super League, for years to come.
Welcome back. It's halftime in Halifax, a 2-0 lead so far for Ottawa. There's been no shortage, though, of massive moments in the Northern Super League this inaugural season, many of those coming from unexpected contributors. Here's a look at some of the memorable players in 2025. Jess, starting with AFC Toronto's Kaylee Hunter.
Look, I think, this is a player that there was no surprise at the quality that she did have. Everyone knew that there was a world of potential ahead of Kaylee Hunter. But to be 17 years old and seamlessly transition into the pro world, to be second in goals, she has 14 goals this season, Daniela. That's so impressive. And not only that, but to be a constant impact. That's what was unexpected. She came off the bench at the beginning of the season. She made an impact. Now we're seeing her get those starts consistently, continuing to make an impact. She just got her first ever women's national team call-up. She is she's absolutely a star and has a bright future ahead of her.
Yeah, what a time for Hunter. But how about someone who's been an absolute spark for Montreal, Stephanie Hill?
This is a player that came into the mix because of Julia Lee's injury, and she has made every minute count. She now makes it hard to take her off the field because of how she's contributed, not only defensively and shutting players down, but offensively. I mean, look at that shot. 5 goals as a center back is so beyond impressive, and she's just somebody that continues to grow from game to game.
And she's even notched some game winners, so scoring at clutch times as well for the Roses. Over to the West Coast now, Lisa Peczurski with Vancouver Rise.
I've had the pleasure of playing alongside Lisa, and her ability is not shocking to me at all. She has everything you want in a player, but it's been the extent of her impact that's been remarkable to watch. 4 goals, 4 assists on the season. She does the work that's needed defensively, and she's shown so much versatility in what she can bring to the game, and she's shown such a tremendous amount of growth this season, Daniela, that it's been really fun to watch.
Well, and someone we've had a chance to watch tonight playing out in Halifax, it's Liv Scott with the Ottawa Rapid. Some final looks there, Peczurski. There's Liv Scott.
If you would have told me that Liv Scott is a first-time pro, I'm not believing you, because she is a player that plays with so much poise and confidence, but also has this aspect of leadership in the way she carries herself. We're seeing here she contributed 3 goals to them this season, but defensively she's been absolutely outstanding for them. She constantly makes her presence known, and she's been a big presence for them this year so far.
Talking about some unexpected contributors, honorable mentions go as well to Halifax's Annika Toth, who has been tremendous in the Golden Glove race as it is for her saves. And for Calgary, Tegan Stewart, one of the young guns of the Wild, who's had a great season so far as well. Up next, the final half of regular season soccer awaits. Halifax and Ottawa, the Rapid leading 2-0 at halftime. We'll get back to the action next. Fan Appreciation Night in Halifax. Get ready. We've been waiting for this one, the TVO original, The Pitch. streaming November 9th, 9 a.m. Eastern. That QR code will get you some more details. Looking forward to this, and what a great shot there of Diana Matheson, and she's obviously a big part of this documentary series, detailing the story of the inaugural season of the Northern Super League. Desi Scott playing in her final regular season game as a professional, announcing her retirement just a few weeks back, and we're back in action as the Rapid with a 2-0 lead. Ottawa looking to capitalize on that momentum, and Jess Lisi, I'm Daniela Ponticelli, and we're thrilled to be here for this final regular season match for both these teams. And Jess, you saw the shift, you clocked it, how after that first goal, Halifax, a team that was really almost dominating possession a bit in the first half, kind of fell back and took a different kind of seat.
Yeah, that first portion of the first half, you were seeing that front-footedness that was needed from Halifax. They were causing a lot of issues for Ottawa. Ottawa was caught sitting back. Their clearances were poor. They were really feeding into the game that Halifax was playing. We did see them try to break through a couple times, but it wasn't clean enough from them as far as being precise and really connecting. But then once that goal was scored, you saw everything shift.
Friedland with a goal already, looking for another from distance.
It's a great Friedland. We saw what she does when we saw what she can do, when she strikes on frame, so you don't want to give her that time and space and that freedom to be able to do so. Leaning back a little bit too much on that one.
Very offensive, technical player, confidence. Before the season started, talked about how she likes to create some imbalance. Chu with the throw in for Ottawa. Shots on target tied at 1 each at half. If you're wondering, wait a minute, Ottawa has 2 goals. Well, that second one coming off a header by Gunny Jonsdottir, although it was a defensive play trying to clear it out. I mean, that strike by Gibson to set it all up, though, Jess, was beautiful for Ottawa.
Absolutely, and it's about positioning, finding that position of where you need to be, and that's exactly what Gibson did. She wasn't allowing that ball to be cleared, and she did exactly what was necessary and got that ball back into the box, creating a lot of commotion, and it ended in that second goal.
Sid Kennedy for the Tides. Look to play it ahead for Cameron. Sprawled out is Melissa Dagenet. Talked about how effective she has been coming into this match. She has 7 wins, 4 draws, accounting for 25 of Ottawa's points this season, splitting those duties with Molly Erickson, who was far and away the starter to start the season. Last played, though, back on July 10th, did Erickson, who fortunately sustained an injury. And we've seen a number of keepers, step up, do what they need to do. Annika Toth, of course, for the Tides, it was Erin McLeod who started the season. She has since announced her retirement. So much has happened, and this is week 27, match week 27, I should say, in the NSL. There have been breaks in between. Jess, I know you've been there from the start. You've been on the call back in April. You've seen the growth firsthand.
It's been a fun 27 weeks, that's for sure, Daniela, and there's been a tremendous amount of growth through every team, and it's been
Nakamura.
Remarkable to watch, just to finish that sentence.
Well, yeah, I was unsure where that ball was going to go. She was looking to feed it through her opponent's legs. And some big swings, too. You look at one of the wins for Ottawa against Halifax this season was a 5-0 victory, which stands as the Rapids' largest margin of victory. And then you'll also see these close contests. The fact that prior to tonight, they'd only been able to score 1 goal in each match at the Wanderers' grounds.
It's a nice turn by Sid Kennedy, but then just a little bit of physicality late there from Desi Scott on Kennedy, makes her go down.
See a set play here early on in the second half. Karima Lemire this time for the Tides. Balleron trying to turn it around. A good clear by Ottawa. Ellie Norcus was feeding it through Leslie, and then Lemire with a touch. Back comes the Rapid in motion. Downing looking for a way in, deflected off, unable to get past the 18-yard line. This time, though, from distance, well read by Toth.
It's really well done there. I believe that was Lemire who got down and blocked Downing's shot. Put her body on the line. That's what you want. That's what you need from your team, especially when you are down 2 goals. You know, you're chasing that lead. You want to be able to capitalize on your opportunities.
Oh, here comes Amanda Allen. Was she looking for Tiffany Cameron either way? Looking to make good on it, and first sort of threatening look by the Tides in the second half.
Amanda Allen's a player that loves to run at you, and she's very good at it. It does look like she tries to play that ball into more of a back post run, but it is just Cameron that's in the box, hit a little bit too far ahead for her to get anything on it, and it ends up just bouncing out of bounds.
Gibson. Is it far to the right? Ottawa in the white and blue kit look to just pile on the goals. They have done it before. Friedland. Now Adamick keeping Nakamura at bay. Harris patient. Back to Liv Scott. Mina and Harris. Find Chu now along the left side. She comes in. The edge of the box, Mina.
The idea is there. You see what Mina's trying to do. She has the time and space to strike that on frame, but her hips are just a little bit too opened there, and she's not able to quite wrap them around to redirect that curved ball into the back of the net. But this composure from Ottawa is what we're typically used to seeing. You see there, her body is facing away from the goal. It's difficult to wrap your hips completely around and get that back on frame based on her body positioning, but the idea is right.
Mina opened up all scoring for Ottawa in the very first match for the Rapid, and you have to go way back to April for that one, April 27th. Scott to Harris. Fans still very lively in Halifax, as they have been all season. The Tides have talked about their challenging campaign with just 3 wins.
It's really well done by Stella Downing.
Mina, patient. Now Chu. Cross, Mina, header. Annika Toth able to stop that with ease.
Not enough on the header to really test Toth, but again, the idea continues to be there. That's a great delivery into the box by Chu. The patience and the composure leading up to that cross ball, being able to recognize, to play that ball down the flank. She has the time, she has the space to make that decision and get the ball into the box to the runners.
Ottawa's 2 goals in this match so far actually puts them ahead of AFC Toronto for most goals in the league. But here comes Allen once more. Forced out by Harris, at least forced away. Lisa Harris, just a steadfast presence for this Ottawa side. Hails from Hazlitt, New Jersey. You think about the mindset here, Jess. The end of the regular season, but there's still an important stretch ahead for the Rapid, and to be up 2-0, what would you believe the message is right now? Do you just want to keep adding to that, or is the focus now just defense?
Yeah, I think you still want to capitalize on opportunities. You never know what's going to happen in the games. 2-0 is not a great lead to have, despite it looking like that. You want to be able to score that third goal, but of course you're going to be focusing on staying organized and really shutting down this Halifax team, which we saw in that first half. They're absolutely capable of creating dangerous opportunities. They weren't quite coming together for them, but the grass plays a factor in this. There's so many things that can cause a goal to go into the back of your net, so you have to be aware and turned on both sides of the ball, Daniela.
Nakamura was trying to get something going with Jan's daughter.
Substitution for the Ottawa Rapid in the 57th.
We have our first substitution of the match. It'll be Stella Downing will be heading off as Nicola Golan comes in, and then we also saw Mina Lee subbing off for the final time in the regular season. Julia Benatti getting in some minutes here. 2 substitutions for the Rapid in the 57th minute. And immediately Benatti getting on the ball. Both head coaches telling us prior to this match that they are looking to make sure that their best players, their most consistent players, are getting not only the start, but getting the minutes. Despite this, of course, being the final regular season match, at least as well for the Tides. Big pass up for Harris, or check that, looking to find Jan's daughter. Allen with a throw in off Nakamura there. Is it back? Gets past Gibson. Puts it up for Cameron, just out of reach. The timing was so close, Jess.
You want more numbers in the box on that opportunity. That's really well done there. Lemire coming forward again.
Great tackle and nearly setting up once more. Talked about how for Ottawa was Joanna Friedland knocking on the door. Well, Amanda Allen certainly making a case for herself on the Tide side.
Looks like she just misread that, but this is so well done by Lemire. Fantastic tackle. She looks up, plays the switch ball over, and Allen just not focused enough on being able to connect with that. She did run. She was right there. She was in the correct positioning, but it has to be better from her technique-wise to be able to at least connect with that and put it on frame.
Ottawa in their own half. Patient, Gibson. Just send it through with great speed. Toth able to get it out of the way. Kayla Adamick really pushing the pace there, looking to get a step ahead. In the 60th minute, this the first of 3 matches in the final week rather, of the NSL regular season. Chu taking it up along the left flank. Gets it back, draws the Tides players her way. Now Harris Desi Scott up high, headed out.
Looks like Pridham lost her footing there. But we're seeing no rush from the Ottawa Rapid. You know, they're keeping the ball, they're comfortable with it, and that's exactly what you want to do. You want to play the ball at pace, but you also want to be very comfortable in living in that lead. Keep the ball. Don't allow your opponent to get on it. They can't score goals if they're not on the ball, Daniela, especially not in dangerous areas. So it's about taking care of the ball and using that to their advantage to wind the time down.
And you have to think the message is all about continuing to just perfect the details and get better, knowing that likely some of the toughest contests of the year are just ahead. Lemire. Pass taken away by Desi Scott easily.
It's the right decision from Lemire. You saw how much space Kennedy had on that flank, but she takes a little bit too long to make that decision and ends up hitting that ball with no pace, and Desi Scott just took that and said, thank you, I'm going to go back the other way.
If you're just tuning in, you're watching the NSL on TSN, presented by BMO, the official bank of the Northern Super League. 61 minutes down. Ottawa coming into the second half with that 2-0 lead.
Substitution for the Halifax Tides.
Substitution now for the home side this time, their first of the match.
Karima
Lemire, who we've seen do great things, subbing out as Sarah Taylor draws in, and then Tiffany Cameron, it appears, as well, subbing out along with Amanda Allen. So Cameron out and Millie Clegg is in.
Match is number 33, Tiffany Cameron. Entering the match is number 22.
Sarah Lemiller as well subbing in. So 3 changes there, 3 substitutions for Halifax. Millie Clegg coming in with the most total shots for Halifax on the team. A New Zealand product. Young player as well at 19 years of age. So 3 off the bench. Sarah Taylor with her first touch. Hoping for Wickers, taken away by DB Pridham. You have to think, if Pridham can't add to her goal tally, Jess, that means that at the end of this season, Halifax will have held far and away the goals leader in this league to just 1 goal conceded. It's really impressive.
Yeah, it absolutely is, and I think that that's something that is a common tale when you play teams that are at the bottom of the table. They have, you know, a bit of the chip on their shoulder. They want to shut you down, especially when you are the leading goal scorer, and Halifax has done really well with that. It's the physical play that gets into her head and throws her off her game. She's not able to make that same impact as far as scoring goals, but she continues to make an impact in other ways, and just this game alone, the movement that she has off the ball, it might not be something that you're recognizing just watching the matchup, but if you really pay attention to Pridham, her ability to see that space and get out of it or get into it when it's available is something that makes her really special as a forward, and you can see that IQ come out of her game in and game out, but you're seeing it again today, not able to get on the board for her team, but making an impact.
Another corner here for Halifax, first of the second half. Jan's daughter to deliver, as she has the first 2 for the Tides. Looking for Nakamura. She gets a strike in, but scooped up quick by Melissa Dagenet. Feels like there's a bit of a lack of oomph, Jess.
Yeah, set pieces have continued to be a bit of a problem, though. In this game, specifically for Ottawa, you're seeing when there's commotion in front of the net in the box, they're not able to clear it quick enough, but Halifax has to be better. They have to be able to get something out of those opportunities. They have to be able to capitalize. So it is, as you said, there's not enough oomph when they're in the box. They need to have that grit to put their body on the line, to do anything to get the ball into the back of the net.
Well, they now have had 95 corners on the season, Jess, and some perspective there, 3 goals scored in that manner. So knowing what to work on, how to develop this club, a club that has had its ups and downs, and every team will tell you that that's been the case, as Millie Clegg nearly pounces on it.
Seeing the surface play a factor there as well.
Pridham runs up, and Toth, calm, cool, collected, rolls it out to Wickers. Norcus, now Clegg. She steers, tries to put it into the penalty area, no one to help out. Nakamura was close.
The idea of the cutback is there, but the precision and the ability to actually have it work is a whole other ballgame, and that's where Millie Clegg needs to be able to clean that up. She needs to give her teammates an opportunity to create something dangerous out of that, especially after she's done all that work to make it happen.
Sarah Clegg turns around, has Miller, and now a header chance goes up way high.
Looks like that might have actually been Jan's daughter that was in the box. Miller getting that cross in. And Miller's another player, Daniela, that has continuously shown up for this Halifax Tides team. She makes things happen when she's out on the pitch. She puts up phenomenal performances.
Always one to watch. 4 goals, 1 assist on the season is Miller. Wow, the Tides have it right back. Miller watches as it goes off of other legs before rolling out of the end line. Dagenet thought she was getting a nice clean pass to one of her own. So will this be the set piece that connects this time, Jess?
See if that grid is there this time around.
Into the box. Lots of action up high this time. Sid Kennedy feeling that frustration.
Valorant does really well to get that ball back across, but it needs to be better. There needs to be more precision there.
Some more substitutions now for Ottawa as Emily Amano subs in, and Desi Scott makes her way off the pitch in her final regular season game in the NSL. And the crowd, of course, showing its class, sending off Desi Scott with cheers. Incredible player. All she's done, of course, not done yet in terms of the playoffs on the horizon.
But one thing that Friedland did was make an impact today, and I know she's off the pitch now, but just to look at her goal, Stella Downing doing everything she can to make sure that this ball gets into the box. She deals with the physicality, delivers a great box into Friedland, and she absolutely drives it home. It's a great performance overall from Friedland, made herself very active and useful in that first half, as well as in the second half for the time that she played.
Yeah, so Friedland out, Florence Belzile is in the match. Tides looking to get going here. Want to give fans something to cheer about. But Ottawa getting to work once more. Adamic looking for that support. Of course, fresh legs out there for the Rapid. Harris not among them. She's been there since the start of the match. Pridham delivering some physicality of her own.
Substitution for the Halifax Tides.
And now we have another substitution for Halifax. Maya Harnish subs in, and Sid Kennedy going off amid applause as well, and you have to appreciate the effort that she has brought every single match for the Tides. Maya Harnish, who has seen very few minutes in the Northern Super League, having her moment. But Ottawa going to capitalize. Of course, you have a whole number of new players on the pitch, Jess. That can certainly be an opportunity to jump on.
Well, that was a good opportunity there. It was just out of the reach of Pridham, but you mentioned the amount of subs that are being made, Daniela. That shows the depth and the importance of it in your squad. You want to be able to have players that you can put on the pitch and the level doesn't drop, but instead it continues to rise as other players get tired. So I think one thing too about Ottawa, and something that Coach Peterson has mentioned throughout the entirety of the season, is that she feels so blessed to be able to have such a range of players on the flank, specifically where, you know, you have a player like Golan that's able to come in, you have a player like Belzile, whereas you also have players like Downing who are making such an impact. So that's great as a coach. It's a hard problem to have, but one thing about Ottawa is they absolutely have depth, and they've utilized it this season.
Might seem odd, but coaches love having difficult decisions to make when it comes to who they're putting in as their starters. It means everyone's contributing. Annika Toth, who's been tested throughout this match. Puts it over to Wickers, now up. Belzile. We have a foul.
Both Jonsdottir and Taylor going into that against Amano. Ended up winning the foul.
Tides moving in now in the attacking third. Coming along the edge of the box, now inside. Millie Clegg! Now Nakamura! The Halifax Tides on the scoreboard cut the lead in half, and more than that, something to celebrate in Fan Appreciation Night. Megumi Nakamura.
Regardless of being a team that is out of the playoffs, this is a team that wanted to finish strong, and this is a fantastic goal from them. Great ball in, but a fantastic touch from Clegg there, and she strikes that on frame, but then the ball goes back, and you see Nakamura ready. She puts that into the back of the net and finishes it like a champ.
Fifth goal of the NSL season for Megumi Nakamura, who has now scored in all home matches against Ottawa. A good test here for the Rapid, a team that in all of its victories this season has not conceded more than one goal. So when they win, it's either a clean sheet or maybe one goal allowed. We'll see what they can do here. If the Tides are able to even things out, what a test to have in this final match of the regular season.
And I feel like a broken record mentioning this throughout the season, but a 2-goal lead is one of the worst to have in sports. Now you have Halifax scoring 1 goal, they're right back into it.
Oh my goodness, and now Sarola Miller looking to get that tying goal. It's on the outside of the frame that time.
The momentum starts to shift at times, and that's where Ottawa has to be aware of it, but Miller tweaked so great there to get in behind, read that ball, and strike it towards goal. So you're using that pace, great first touch, but Olivia Scott coming up big in the end and not allowing a clear-cut chance for Miller.
Miller just wanting to follow Nakamura's footsteps there. If she scored, it would be goal number 5 for her as well on this season. Sometimes folks get in the shot. It's all good. Now a corner here for the Tides. Can they make it count? Still in the penalty area. Back up, it's alive. Jonsdottir was trying to go for the header. Jess Lisi, you talked about the clearances being a bit of a challenge for the Ottawa Rapid. And you've got a Tides team that they're so close. They know this isn't within reach. There's still time. And right now, they're in Ottawa's half. Looking to get organized. Sarah Taylor. Ellen Gibson sweeps in. Now another chance for the Tides as Millie Clegg try to put it on frame. Crowd likes what they're seeing. Jaleesa Harris, though, having some words.
It's a dangerous spot to have a free kick from. Big opportunity for the Tides. They can capitalize here and get that equalizer.
Referee Anne-Marie Canuel speaking with some of the players. Meanwhile, Dagenet looking to get organized and ready. Big moment here for the Tides. This time Jonsdottir has Miller with her. Miller, of course, subbing in here in the second half. Essentially the two captains for this Tides team when Jonsdottir was away. Miller leading the team. Miller. Yeah, it's up high. It's been a struggle off the set pieces for the Tides this match.
That is definitely a shot on goal distance. Miller leaning back on that, not following through well enough. From that distance, Daniela, you either have to put the finesse on it and try to curve it into that corner, or you really got to strike through it with some precision as well. You can't just strike through it to a point where you're leaning back as well. It is going to sky over top of the net, as we saw there.
A chance here for the players to have a moment along the sidelines. Temperature in Halifax slowly dropping throughout the evening. Started at 15 degrees, now between 13 and 14, and just a very light wind. Alyssa Dagenet being looked at. Wasn't sure if she just needed a moment or if she was actually going to be assessed. Certainly not what you want to see as you prepare for the postseason, and Dagenet has been the one for Ottawa ever since Molly Erickson stopped her duties due to an injury. Dagenet making her debut in a 4-0 win over Toronto back in June. She's been the steadfast starter since July 19th, so this will be her 15th straight start for Ottawa. Nakamura, of course, scoring the lone goal so far for the Tides. Right now sitting as Halifax's goal scoring leader. Another look now.
This touch here from Clegg is huge, and it contributes massively to this goal. And Nakamura being there, putting everything into that goal, being in the right position, but also, again, finding the ability to find the back of the net and put her team on the board.
From Nagano, Japan, 25 years old. Key part of the Tides. Ottawa looking to regain a 2-goal lead. Chiuta Harris, quick passes, Bernardi able to get it in and keeps it in play. Bernardi now to Amano. in the 80th minute at the Wanderers grounds. Halifax Tide's final game of the season. Scott trying to settle things down here for Ottawa. Plays it back to Dagenet. Dagenet back in fine form, sends the ball to the midfield. Now Halifax on the move. Taylor regains control. Check that, it's Miller one-on-one with Golan and Nicola Golan.
It's well defended there by Golan.
Both those players substitutions here in the second half for their respective clubs. Tides to get it back inside the box this time. It's where they've been most effective. Kylie Norcus puts it up. It's headed out. Now Maya Harnish to Taylor. Taylor from distance, and Dagenet with a good save.
Dagenet able to confidently grab that, but Taylor with the right idea, getting that ball back into the box, trying to test Dagenet from distance.
And the winning number is
Norcus to Harnish.
D137. That's D1137.
Tides. They get organized once more. They've had some great play here in the second half, one of which resulting in a goal. Now Florence Belzile trying to create something the other way. Miller swoops in for Halifax. Harnish hoping to get it around Chu. Nakamura out to touch. Now Nakamura with the throw in deep in the Ottawa half. Nakamura still in control. Unable to find some familiar faces inside the box, the Tides.
It's the right idea there. She struck it with some conviction as well, but Ottawa doing well to just get a leg in there and get it out.
Still looking to keep the ball moving. Tides. One more to tie it. First time these two clubs met in this inaugural NSL season, it was a 2-1 match going Halifax's way at the Wanderers grounds. Chu.
Not too much time left. This is where you need Ottawa to be able to keep the ball and take care of it, make the correct decisions, don't be too risky at the back.
Game management is key, but here comes DB Pridham. Pridham. Great defense by Wickers to stop the leading goal scorer in the NSL. Another opportunity, that's kept at bay. Nakamura gets a touch on it, now Harris. Trying to get the ball back into the attacking third here for the Rapid. Statement win certainly is what they'd like, knowing the playoffs are right around the corner. Looking to play their best soccer as it is. Right now in that position to finish tonight with 3 points in the standings. So that goes a long way.
We're seeing that needed composure and patience here from the Rapid, but you're also seeing that front-footed approach from Halifax defensively. They're looking to pounce, and they almost get close there. Harris kicking this out of bounds.
Some substitutions here as Sofia Cedeno goes in, and Nakamura with a goal to make it 5 on the season. Subs out here for the final time this NSL season. Kayla Adamick for Ottawa comes out, and she's been such a steadfast presence there as Melanie Forbes subs in.
We'll see here too, just to look at Nakamura's goal again. Millie Clegg with a nice touch gets that ball in, and Nakamura right in the correct position to be able to finish this and put her team ahead. Sorry, not ahead. To put her team on the board.
A great pop from the crowd. I mean, that's what they wanted. They wanted to give the fans something to celebrate. And for what it's worth, Halifax now with goals in 5 straight matches. That was something at the beginning of the season, just we weren't seeing that inability to score. So chipping away at it. Of course, it's just a little too late when you have 25 matches. We have a yellow card. 3rd overall of the match.
And you mentioned that, Danielle. I just want to go off of it. You know, they've been trying to really keep the ball in a more progressive way and be more active in the final third, finding more precision and creating their chances. And we've seen that growth so much through the second half of the season, specifically, as you said, in the last 5-ish games. So it's well done from them. We're definitely seeing the growth.
Emily Amano getting booked here late in the match in the 86th minute. A little earlier there, that kick now for the Tides. Can they make something of it? Ottawa, a team dangerous in transition. They use speed to their advantage now late in this match. Harnish. Is it back for Annika Toth? She puts it well ahead. Off the heel and on the move for Ottawa. Oh, Benatti. Benatti has DB Pridham. Pridham denied. My goodness. DB Pridham looked like she had her sights on lock for a goal.
Pridham really trying to strike through that and almost kill the ball, but this is a great ball through. You see here, all she had to do was really place it into that far right corner on the ground by Toth, and that would have been a guaranteed goal, but she overthinks it just a little bit and ends up getting under it, hitting it over top of the goal.
Still sitting at 18 goals on the season. That could be how she finishes as well. Of course, there's so much in store. As much as you want to win the individual accolades, it is all about what's ahead. Not only playoffs, but the NSL final as well. Orcus with a throw in for the Tides. Taylor. Scooped up by Dagenet. We're in the 89th minute. And the NSL final is coming up on November 15th at BMO Field in Toronto. Scan the QR code to get your tickets now or visit nsl.ca/final. You will want to be there. Witness history as one of either Ottawa, Montreal, Vancouver, or AFC Toronto. Well, 2 of them will be playing in that match. 1 of them will be crowned the inaugural champion. Exciting time, Jess, but physical play at the center line, and Taylor colliding there with Benatti, I believe. Amano, check that. Florence Belzile moving in. that from distance as well, just outside the 18-yard line, goes up high. Toth trying to get things going quickly here.
Seems to be the story of the day, with everyone leaning back a little bit too much when they are going to strike on frame. The idea is always correct. You're seeing that confidence in them to strike it from distance. Banati is somebody that has the ability to do that. She strikes a ball very well. We've seen her do it. She scored an absolute banger of a free kick this year. But you know, again, the precision in that shot and being able to execute it has to just be a little bit better.
So this added time, a minimum of 5 minutes here in the second half. There was just a minimum of 3 in the first, and Ottawa was able to score that second goal, which right now is the difference between them leaving here with 3 points. Points that will push them ahead tonight, but of course both Vancouver and Montreal, the teams that are in the mix to shake up those final 4 standings, they are also going to play a part in the fate of the Rapid and where they stand at the end of tonight. Anything is possible though in these final minutes. The crowd still rallying this Halifax team. A team they've come out in droves to support all season long. Annika Leslie finds Miller, now Miller trying to play it ahead as Clegg nearly gets a strike.
Those crosses continuing to be an issue for Ottawa late in this game.
Norcus. Millie Clegg now. Swift work by the Rapid. Keep that at bay. Chu.
Well done there by Clegg as well to not give up on the play and continuously try to create something dangerous. Now they're able to walk away with a corner kick, another opportunity, something that's been causing the Rapid a lot of issues this matchup.
All right, a corner kick here in stoppage time. Looking for the equalizer. Jonsdottir delivers into the box. It goes over top and out. Still on the attack though. Trying to make something of it. Cedeno gets the pass off. Miller to Jonsdottir. Back to Miller now. Miller looking, send it up for a header. Another attempt. Trying to get something going, and Julianne Valorand as well with a valiant effort there.
Cedeno pulling out a bit of a half bicycle there. Trying to get that ball back into the box, and she does just that, but they're not able to capitalize on anything.
Cedeno debuting in early August with Halifax on loan from Seattle Reign FC. She's been an absolute spark as well for the Tides. Hoping to be the difference maker there, but now Ottawa threatening, looking for a way in, that time Toth.
Some nice footwork there as well from Banati to evade that pressure and get a shot off, but she ends up putting it right into the hands of Toth, who's confidently able to scoop that up.
Hanging on to a 1-goal lead here is Ottawa, time winding down. Looking to make it count this time. DB Pridham, she's there, a ball within a reach, and Melanie Forbes is trying to get there. Forbes, of course, the assist leader for the Ottawa Rapid this season.
That was a great delivery in by her. You did see it cause issues and a bit of commotion in front of the Halifax Tides goal. Pridham not able to get on that. She is marked up.
Liv Scott in that one-on-one, 1v1 rather, battle for Ottawa. We are now in the 5th minute of what will be a minimum of 5 minutes of stoppage time, so Ottawa looking to come away here with the victory. Jessica Legolin with control, gets the ball into the Halifax half. They're waiting for the whistle of the Tides. Looking to make something happen late here.
Seeing Cedeno throw that ball into Chu, thinking she's going to catch it. Chu doing well to duck and waste a bit more time.
Throw in here could be the final one of the match. And that is full time. The Ottawa Rapid close their regular season with a win. 2-1 over Halifax, and most importantly, Jess, 3 points in the standings. It could see them finish second this season, depending on how the week plays out, but either way, they have done what they possibly could to end on the best note. We see a meeting here of the head coaches, Katrina Peterson and Stephen Hart. A valiant effort from the Tides, but much like their season, unable to really get that last minute push and make something happen, although the fans, as always, showing their appreciation right back for what is a historic inaugural campaign.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think, we saw a lot of fight from the Tides to that final moment. They were able to score a goal and capitalize on one of the many opportunities that they had created, but the Rapid, at the end of the day, despite it not being their most complete performance, they found a way to score 2 goals and keep the ball out of the back of their net, where they're able to walk away with the win, and they should absolutely be proud of themselves because it is not an easy surface to play on. You saw it play into the mix a little bit there, some slips and falls, but at the end of the day, they were the better team, and they were able to walk away with the win.
What may be bittersweet is that the game winner goes to an opponent-owned goal. Yes, it went off of Gunny Jonsdotter, and it is Ottawa's 3rd victory against Halifax, their first at the Wanderers' grounds, and here's a look at how it all played out.
This is a fantastic goal from the Rapid. Friedland able to connect with that so well. Downing putting in all that effort. And then Friedland again here, putting this ball into the box. Pridham does well to contest that. Gibson getting on it, not allowing that ball to be cleared, and actually goes off of Jonsdotter's head. Frustrating for the Tides, especially because they put up such a great fight. But Ottawa did everything possible in this play to make sure that they were going to capitalize. Very well done from them. And then when you look at the flip side, Daniela, Clegg does so well here to take that touch to beat the Ottawa back line, gets a shot off, and Nakamura is there to put that one away. You see it again here. Nakamura right in the right place, puts it away like an absolute pro.
And so the story goes, a 2-1 victory in the end for the Ottawa Rapid. Shots on target, going to the Halifax Tides, but making it count was Ottawa, and they also had most total shots, dominated possession as well. The corners, Halifax had the opportunities, so much to grow on when it comes down to it, but this, a tough end to a challenging season for the Tides. Here are the standings right now. Of course, actually, this is the picture right before this match where Ottawa tied with Montreal. They will now be tied with Vancouver. They have the tiebreak over Vancouver. So it's a really good position for them to be in. Of course, the Rise and the Roses both have matches to come. In fact, the Rise play in Calgary tomorrow night. So this, the final match between Halifax and Ottawa, but here it is. Calgary Wild hosting the Rise at McMahon Stadium. That's tomorrow, a late night affair for those in the Eastern time zone, 7 p.m. Mountain, and of course 6 p.m. Pacific for the Vancouver fans tuning in. And then the entire season comes to a close Sunday. Katrina Peterson having words with her team for the final time in the regular season. They'll be right back to work getting ready for what's next. Their opponent, TBD. It has been quite a ride for both these clubs this inaugural campaign. NSL Soccer is presented by BMO, the official bank of the Northern Super League. For Jessica Lisi, our entire crew, and the Northern Super League, I'm Daniela Ponticelli. 2-1 the final from Halifax for Ottawa. Until next time, thank you for watching.